haters, so you came to win. Let's go. Blue market, so we going in. It's going up. Going by your mama beans. It's going up. We flip it, then flip it again. It's going up.
Hendrix on Chain, bringing you another video today. We're going to cover what's going on in the world, the economy, and the stock market, as well as the crypto markets. As I explained to you guys before in my last video, there's been a strong correlation that's been happening with the U.S. stock market and the crypto markets. And as you can see, stocks are pretty much sliding based on heightened Ukraine tensions that continue to weigh. Of course, there's a lot of factors here, and from my experience trading in the last 8 years, a lot of these things happen to be headlines. Sometimes we might be in a downward pattern, and then you have the headlines that accelerated that we get from some of the mainstream media news. But one of the most pressing factors that's been happening in the world today has been the crisis, I won't say crisis, but the pressing tensions that's going on between Russia allegedly invading Ukraine, although Russia has said that they're not. As you can see, the Dow Jones is down 1.78%, S&P is down 2.14%, and the NASDAQ is down 2.8%. We're basically hitting the lows quite again. Just to continue further, Bitcoin continues to follow the same trajectory. It continues to follow the market. So if you see Bitcoin going down, check the U.S. markets, and you'll notice that we've been correlating with the U.S. markets for at least the last couple of weeks and years, and we haven't had a divergence or convergence yet. One thing that's going to be pressing that we all need to be aware of in the crypto markets is that pretty much Ukraine ended up legalizing crypto today. They legalized Bitcoin, so Ukraine legalized cryptocurrencies on Thursday, even as tensions with Russia have roiled global markets in the past week due to global concerns over the prospect of a wider war with more than 100,000 Russian troops near the Ukrainian frontier. Ukraine is already in top 5 countries on cryptocurrency usage. Today, we made one more step forward. Parliament adopted law on virtual assets. This will legalize crypto exchanges and cryptocurrencies, and Ukrainians could protect their asset from possible abuse or fraud, said Ukrainian Vice Prime Minister, can't pronounce his name, Fedorov on Twitter. This is big. The landscape is changing. We had El Salvador early in the year legalize Bitcoin as a currency. They also wanted to create their own Bitcoin bond, which the IMF and even the West here in the United States, they didn't want to support that. Going forward, here we go. If Russia invites Bitcoin adoption, the global arms race will begin. On February 15th, the Russian Ministry of Economic Development signaled a bullish development around Bitcoin, reduced costs for Bitcoin miners. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and read all this because it's extensively long, but Russia a couple of days ago stated they weren't gonna ban cryptocurrencies, and this is something that's pretty big. And with the tensions rising with the United States, Russia, and Ukraine, I mean this is either a strategic move for them or to deal with the rising inflation that's actually last reported 7.5%. This is big. This is a serious event that is happening, and it's changing the landscape of how we exchange our money. One of the most important things that we're going to see next week that could change everything, and I mean everything for the crypto space, it could be volatile for Bitcoin in a whole. I mean, Biden seen issuing crypto oversight executive order next week, and President Biden is expected to issue an executive order next week directing agencies across the government to study cryptocurrencies and its central bank digital currency and come up with the government-wide strategy to regulate digital assets. Now, remember, I said it before that right now, crypto is currently the Wild Wild West. And when I say the Wild Wild West, I mean it is the Wild Wild West. And I mean, you have, how many assets do we have? 17,622 cryptocurrencies that are out. We have Teddy Dog, Spook. We have funny tokens, meme tokens. And you have some of these groups that are coming in here and just making more tokens and pumping them up. Wash trading, moving large amounts of money back and forth to create artificial volume. And move these cryptocurrencies higher and higher. And right now, there's going to be regulation. I mean, some of these things might not even be allowed to be traded, and some of them are not allowed to be traded in the United States right now. But things will change the landscape of cryptocurrencies as a whole if we ever want to see it get on the next level where big brokers like Fidelity and Morgan Stanley, um, TD Ameritrade, are able to allow their clients to actively trade some of these tokens such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Ripple, you know, and all the other ones on their platform. So it's vital that we get some type of regulatory oversight at some point. Not too much regulation, but we need some type of regulation. Going forward, let's continue reading here. We got, you know, according to the administration official familiar with the matter, the forthcoming directive will commission a study of a central bank digital currency and ask a range of agencies, including departments of Treasury, State, Justice, Homeland, to develop a report on the future of money and payment systems. Now, as you know, we've been battling inflation for at least, the last couple of days. So I won't say couple of days, but at least since 2020, since the rise of the pandemic, where we've been printing money with the economic stimulus package. And I mean, the Fed's battle to fight inflation could cause more pain than higher prices. I mean, some people are saying inflation could put us in a recession. Some people are saying that, there's different, very different opinions, and every country is battling inflation. I think Canada just reported the highest inflation on record of 30 years. Canada inflation hits levels not seen since 1991. That's crazy. Statistics say consumer price index rose 5.1% year over year. And consumer price index, if you guys don't know, is a basket of goods such as gas, food, groceries, and it's showing that in that basket, everything is going up. So if everything is going up, I mean, it means that although your wages might go up, although, you think you're getting paid more, the cost of living is going up. I mean, rent has skyrocketed in the States. This is not something that should be taken very lightly. But going forward, just to look at the charts, but overall, I said it before and I'll say it again, Bitcoin is in the head and shoulders pattern. And Bitcoin could easily just drop to new lows eventually. And as you can see, Bitcoin is just accelerating under 40K. And if that's happening, then that's very telling to what's going on in the U.S. markets, because Bitcoin is following the U.S. markets and everybody's afraid of inflation right now. Everybody's terrified of inflation. Everybody's going risk off. No one knows what the Fed is going to do. No one knows, are we going to raise rates by 50 points? Some people in the Fed are saying 25 points. Some people saying 50 points. Some saying 100 points. Everybody's saying, hey, but if you do this at 100 points, this could cause, catastrophic pain for, some consumers or, some of the people in certain countries. I mean, the Fed is in a hard place, and that's why you see the CBDC coin is probably going to be a solution to the problem. I mean, the solution to the problem is, hey, we might have printed too much than we expected. Let's roll out the new central bank digital currency, and with a central bank digital currency, that can change the whole landscape of everything. And then we'll see what happens. But this is Hendrix on Chain. Stay tuned. I mean, although we can look at the charts are meaningless. And what I mean by meaningless is that news triumphs everything. And, this is something I've been drawing for quite a long time. And like I said, for those who are very concerned or looking for entries or things like that, I mean, everything can change based on executive order. I mean, if Biden says we're banning Bitcoin, why wouldn't Bitcoin go into 30K? Now we have to think about that. And this is the part of why here on Hendrix on Chain, we talk about those things. We have to focus on the possibility of some of these things happening. We can't just ignore that these things can't happen and say, yeah, man, bulls forever to the moon, Bitcoin over everything. Bitcoin can't be banned. I mean, yeah, it probably can't be banned, but I'm just saying that it is not a bullish narrative. Just like Ukraine getting invaded by Russia is not a bullish narrative for the U.S. stock markets. As you can see, it's not a bullish narrative. Those are, you need narratives to help push, to help push, whatever asset or, whatever index or whatever coin or to continue to go up. I mean, if they keep saying home prices are rising and lowest interest rates, most people would go out and buy a home. If people keep saying Bitcoin is a safe haven to cash, people are going to continuously to hedge. And one thing that was very interesting before we log off was gold made a new high, for the week. Gold is now officially at 1900. This is changing the landscape. I mean, we have to see where big money is flowing. And big money is flowing into other assets that's outside of crypto, outside of real estate, outside of the stock market, because big money has to put their money somewhere. If you got inflation, their money's becoming worthless, and that's not what they want to do. Everybody wants to keep putting their money to work. So, Hendrix on chain, subscribe, like, and we'll keep breaking down this news and give you guys, a different perspective on what I think is happening in the markets and how we can play defense with these things. Thanks, guys. Later.
You a trader, so you came to win. Let's go. Blue market, so we going in. It's going up. Going by your mama beans. It's going up. We flip it, then flip it again.